A tribute to Sir Roger Deakins, how the British cinematographer became the greatest eye in Hollywood. For the past 30 years, Deakins has emerged as the preeminent cinematographer of his generation. But how did the Blade Runner 2049 DP come to master his craft? By Andrew Valianti.
It is the best I can do.
There are very few positions in the film industry less appreciated than cinematographer, and the number of individuals who've managed to achieve celebrity from the DP chair can generously be counted on one hand. Nevertheless, British film photographer and man with a golden eye, Roger Deakins, has carved out a spot for himself as a household name across his 40-year career. But how did the vision behind generational classics like The Shawshank Redemption, 1994, Fargo, 1996, No Country for Old Men, 2007, and Blade Runner 2049, 2017, rise to his station as master of the silhouette and florid artist with a movie camera?
You take off through that bayou.
Wait a minute. Who elected you leader of this outfit?
Contrary to what many may assume, Deakins did not emerge from film school as a celebrated maestro. In fact, Deakins was initially denied access to film school on the grounds his work was not filmic enough. After spending his youth as an avid painter and adolescence as a rural photographer, Deakins developed a passion for cinematography, shortly before applying to England's National Film School. Faced with the choice to either abandon his passion or pack up and wait for next year's application season, Deakins chose the latter, spending the year wandering the English countryside and photographing every last detail that caught his eye.
And I guess that was your accomplice and the wood chipper.
After being accepted his second time around, Deakins went to spend his post-collegiate years picking up odd jobs as an assistant cameraman on various documentaries and musical concert recordings, juxtaposing clandestine recordings of the Rhodesian Bush War with hazy backstage hangouts with the likes of Van Morrison and the Kinks. Deakins' first foray into cinematography would come well into his 30s, a testament to the age-old adage, it's never too late to start doing what you love. A string of undersung successes throughout the 1980s.
Come back to the woods, it's safer.
After scoring a gig as a director of photography for a gritty British miniseries entitled Wolfcott in 1981, by sheer happenstance, Deakins inspired his former film school companion Michael Radford to seek him out and ask to collaborate on the aspiring director's first feature film endeavor entitled Another Time, Another Place, 1983. The project proved a surprise success, screening at the Cannes Film Festival and inspiring the pair to work together again on Radford's next project, the esoteric adaptation of George Orwell's timeless classic 1984.
That looks like it hurts. So does this.
Deakins' remarkable decision to attempt a bleach bypass and wash out much of the film's primary colors in favor of a dreary and subdued Orwellian ash proved a breakthrough in cinematography later repeated in films like Seven, 1995, Saving Private Ryan, 1998, and Fight Club, 1999. Throughout the rest of the 1980s, Deakins continued finding work as an overqualified DP for hire, contributing to a myriad of British films including Sid and Nancy, 1986, Of the Realm, 1986, White Mischief, 1987, Stormy Monday, 1988, and Pascali's Island, 1988.
That ain't right either. I find in why you give it a think.
While none ever rose above the status of cult favorites, many have missed most of Deakins' contributions across the 1980s. There was one up-and-coming director duo who took a special interest in his work, Joel and Ethan Coen. A cultural breakthrough in the 1990s and 2000s. After finding little success as a cinematographer in the US with lightweight 90s fluff, the likes of Air America, 1990, Deakins was chosen by the two brothers to serve as DP on their latest project, the Palme d'Or-winning Tinseltown Nightmare Barton Fink, 1981. Deakins' photography was among the highlights of the film, making him a sought-after commodity in Hollywood overnight.
Barring a preference, we're going to put you to work on a wrestling picture, Wallace Beery.
The cinematographer would string along a few critical successes with films like Homicide, 1991, Passion Fish, 1992, and The Secret Garden, 1993, before scoring his first Oscar nomination for his exceptional work on Frank Darabont's seminal 1994 masterpiece, The Shawshank Redemption. As if a nod at the Academy Awards wasn't an emphatic enough declaration, Deakins found his way to the top of his field. He received the award for Outstanding Achievement in Theatrical Releases from the American Society of Cinematographers, while also being inducted into the Guild within the same year.
What are you Jimmy staring at? Back to work!
Let's go, work!
Deakins perfectly captured the film's sense of fleeting humanity, marred by the looming shadow of physical and emotional confinement, offering up one of cinema's most powerful portraits upon Andy's escape and impactful endings upon Red's arrival at the beach as the credits begin to roll. Deakins would end the decade with 2 more nominations tucked into his belt, for transcendent efforts in the Coen snow-capped Dakota noir masterpiece Fargo, 1996, and Martin Scorsese's underrated epic biographical drama Kundun, 1997.
Tell my story.
Not again.
Again, me.
Both received much acclaim for their brilliant direction and superb performances, but the discourse around the 2 films never strayed too far from Deakins' magnificent camera work and spellbinding use of colors to evoke specific emotions, be they isolation and disgust in the former, or spectacle and wonderment in the latter. While not remembered for its cinematography, Deakins' work on The Big Lebowski, 1998, deserves its own special shout-out, perfectly reflecting the chord struck between nonchalance and absurdity within the film, and abiding right alongside the dude throughout its runtime.
You're being very on dude. They'll call back.
An emergence as a preeminent force in cinematography across the 2000s, 2010s, and beyond. The hits would keep on mounting for Deakins, reteaming with the Coens on all of their films across the 2000s, including Oh Brother Where Art Thou, 2000, The Man Who Wasn't There, 2001, and their Best Picture-winning Cormac McCarthy adaptation No Country for Old Men.
I'm guessing this isn't the future you had pictured for yourself when you first clapped eyes on that money.
All 3 would prove visual feasts, the latter film, the second of Deakins' work to win the coveted top prize at the Academy Awards after Ron Howard's psychological drama A Beautiful Mind, 2001, went home with the honor a few years earlier. Deakins began branching out from his usual collaborators as the decade progressed, teaming instead with young and vibrant young auteurs like M. Night Shyamalan on The Village, 2004, Sam Mendes on Jarhead, 2005, and Andrew Dominic on The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, 2007.
How could I have known he had a grudge against me?
The final film featured what Deakins has since referred to as the particular shot he is most proud of, the arrival of the train at dusk into the waiting arms of Brad Pitt's James and his gang of restless outlaws. The 2010s would see Deakins seek out new and exciting ways he can keep himself challenged, placed clearly on display by his decision to contribute to Gore Verbinski's atypical animated neo-western Rango, 2011. Deakins would later serve as a visual consultant for animated films like The Croods, 2013, and How to Train Your Dragon, 2010 to 2019, but Rango remains the only occasion the cinematographer stepped up to the plate for a non-live-action project.
Yes! I have brought down this mighty beast!
A year later, Deakins would release what may very well be his most accomplished film in his career, the peerless James Bond masterpiece Skyfall, 2012. Deakins found within Bond a perfect sandbox to flex his artistic capabilities to their maximum potential, not leaving a single shot wasted over the film's 143 minutes. The next directorial muse to lure Deakins onto their creative team came in the form of French-Canadian sensation Denis Villeneuve. In 2013, the 2 would collaborate on the gripping thriller starring Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal, Prisoners, which they would then follow up with Sicario in 2015 and Blade Runner 2049 in 2017.
Is that what we were doing last Saturday night?
Probably. Am I suspect?
After a whopping 14 nominations, Deakins finally won an Academy Award for his ultimate collaboration with Villeneuve, creating one of cinema's most awe-inspiring visual spectacles and imagining a dystopian Los Angeles cityscape not just defined by the neon noir of its predecessor, but hued in a rich collection of oranges and blues, sure to forever remain embedded in the minds of all those lucky enough to experience Deakins' masterwork. While it may have taken him 23 years to win an Oscar after his first nomination, Deakins did not wait that long before repeating the feat, winning again for his first project after Blade Runner 2049, 2021.
Did it never occur to you that's why you were summoned in the first place?
An epic World War I drama inspired by the tale of Mendes' own grandfather and edited to appear as one continuous, uninterrupted take, there was little doubt Deakins would walk away empty-handed. Alas, he would not, winning the award and scoring his 15th nomination for the unrelenting Battlefield saga. While the road to success may not have always been assured for Deakins, his spot as one of the greatest cinematographers in cinema history certainly is. Very few in the industry could dream of having their name attached to more bona fide classics spanning 4 distinct decades and counting, but Deakins has made it clear he is only ever as good as his latest film.
It just creeps up on you.
Fans anxiously awaiting the next time they can see Deakins' breathtaking photography on the big screen can rejoice at the news he will be again teaming with Mendes on a love story set in and around a rundown British cinema entitled Empire of Light and scheduled for release in the latter half of 2022.